All right, today we're taking a trip to the eastern coast of India, to a city where the past and the present live side by side. We're diving deep into Visakhapatnam, or as pretty much everyone calls it, Vizag. You'll hear it called the Jewel of the East Coast and the City of Destiny. And over the next few minutes, we're going to find out exactly why. So let's get into it. You know, this quote just nails the vibe of Vizag. It's this perfect blend of the calm, rhythmic sounds of the Bay of Bengal and this real sense of discovery. We're talking lush green hills, ancient history just waiting to be uncovered, and just an amazing coastal energy. It really is a place that feels like there's an adventure around every single corner. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by unpacking those famous nicknames. Then, we'll hit the coast and explore its miles of golden sand. After that, we'll take a deep dive into Vizag's history, head up into the hills and hidden valleys, and of course, check out the local food scene. Then we'll wrap it all up with a handy guide to help you plan your own trip. Sound good? Let's go. Okay, first things first. Why is Vizag called this city of destiny? Well, the name goes way back. One legend says that way back in the 4th century, a king on a pilgrimage stopped here and built a temple to Visakha, the Hindu god of courage. And since destiny favors the brave, the name kinda stuck. You can really feel that spirit of resilience and growth woven into the city's identity, from its ancient roots right up to its role today as a huge industrial hub and naval base. So let's peel back those layers and see what really makes the city tick. You absolutely cannot talk about Vizag without starting with its incredible coastline. But listen, this isn't just one boring stretch of sand. Oh no, it's a whole series of unique beaches, each one with its own personality, running for miles along the Bay of Bengal. From bustling city beaches to quiet, hidden coves, the coastline is, for sure, the beating heart of the city. And what's so great is the variety you get. On one hand, you have Rushikonda Beach. This place is buzzing with energy. Think water sports like scuba diving and kayaking, a really lively, almost Goa-like vibe. It's the place to be if you're looking for action. But then you've got Araku Beach, which is a whole different world. This is your peaceful escape, surrounded by these gorgeous green hills on 3 sides. It's way quieter, so picturesque, and just an absolutely perfect spot to catch a sunrise. But wait, there's more. There's also RK Beach, or Ramakrishna Beach, which is really the city's main social spot. It has this long promenade that's perfect for a morning run or an evening walk, and it's right next to some of the city's best museums. Then, if you head a bit further out, you'll find Bimali Beach. It's known for these really dramatic black rock formations and a beautiful mermaid statue that has become a total photo op icon. All right, let's step away from the shore for a minute because Vizag is a city with an incredible history. It's not just a pretty face with a great coastline. Its history is literally woven into the streets. From ancient empires and colonial trading posts to its super important role in modern naval defense, every single era has left its mark here. This timeline gives you a really quick idea of how Vizag has evolved. Way back, it was part of the Kalinga Empire and a major center for Buddhism. Then, during the colonial era, its location made it a hotspot for Dutch and British traders. And today, that maritime importance is stronger than ever. Vizag is the headquarters for the Indian Navy's Eastern Command and home to the country's oldest shipyard. Pretty impressive, right? So this number, 31. It tells such a cool story. It stands for the 31 years of glorious service that the INS Kursura submarine gave to the Indian Navy. This was a Kalvari-class diesel-electric sub, and it even played a role in the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971. But after it was decommissioned in 2001, it got a whole new lease on life. And that new life? It became a museum. The INS Kursura was turned into Asia's very first submarine museum, and it just sits right there on the sand at RK Beach. For just 40 rupees, you can actually step inside this piece of naval history. You can walk through the tiny corridors, see the cramped crew quarters, and stand in the control room. It's an unbelievable look at what life is like under the sea. And then right across the street, you have the Tu-142 Aircraft Museum to complete the whole experience. And get this. The Navy is also responsible for another mind-blowing discovery. For centuries, the ruins of the Thotlakanda Buddhist monastery were just hidden on a hill overlooking the sea. Then, during a routine flight, a Navy helicopter spotted these strange brick structures from the air. This total chance discovery uncovered a 2,000-year-old complex, complete with stupas and meditation halls. Just incredible. Okay, now let's take our journey up a notch, literally. Because while the coast is amazing, Vizag's beauty also stretches inland and upward into the lush green hills of the Eastern Ghats. This is where you find those jaw-dropping panoramic views, hidden caves, and one of the most scenic journeys in all of South India. High up on a hill is Kailasagiri, a park that is an absolute must-visit. You can take this thrilling ropeway ride to get to the top, and when you do, you're greeted by these huge, stunning white statues of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. The views from up there are just breathtaking. You can see the entire city on one side and the Bay of Bengal on the other. There's even a little toy train that takes you on a tour of the park, which makes it a perfect spot for families.
All right, for an experience you will never, ever forget, you have to go a little bit further out of the city. So let me ask you a question. What do you think is one of the most scenic train journeys in South India? The answer is the ride to Araku Valley. Honestly, the journey itself is the main attraction. The train from Vizag to Araku Valley just winds its way through the Eastern Ghats, passing through an incredible 58 tunnels and over 84 bridges. Pro tip: book a seat in the Vistadome coach. It has these massive glass windows and a transparent roof, so you get completely uninterrupted views of the spectacular scenery.
So once you're in the Araku region, a perfect day trip could look a little something like this. You'd start at the Bora Caves. They're over 1,000,000 years old and are the deepest limestone caves in India. Inside, it's like another world with these incredible stalactite and stalagmite formations. Next, you can take a walk through the fragrant Anantagiri coffee plantations the valley is famous for. And finally, a short trek takes you to the beautiful Kadaki waterfalls, a 50-foot cascade of cool, clear water. It's the perfect way to end the day. All right, we've seen the sights. Now let's get to the experiences that really define a trip to Vizag. Beyond the views, a city's soul is really found in its food, its streets, and its surprising little stories. And let me tell you, Vizag has plenty of all three.
You cannot, and I repeat, cannot leave the Araku region without trying bamboo chicken. This is a totally unique tribal dish. They take marinated chicken, stuff it inside a hollow bamboo stalk, seal it up, and then slow cook it over hot coals. The bamboo gives the chicken this subtle, smoky flavor that's just amazing. It's incredibly tender and aromatic. It's a real taste of the local culture, and a half kilo will set you back about 300 rupees.
And back in the city itself, even the simplest food is a game changer. This quote from a visitor really says it all. The South Indian classics here, like idli and dosa, are just on another level. The idlis are unbelievably soft and fluffy. You can even find cool variations like ragi and multi-millet idlis. And they're served with 3 different chutneys, one of which, believe it or not, is made from cabbage. It's a culinary experience you just have to try for yourself. You know, Vizag is also full of these unexpected stories. If you go to Teneti Park, you'll see this massive cargo ship just sitting on the shore. That's the MV Ma, a Bangladeshi ship that got grounded during a huge storm back in 2020. They tried to get it back in the water, but it just wouldn't budge. And now it's become this accidental and totally fascinating tourist attraction, a real testament to the power of the sea. So if you're feeling inspired and ready to go, let's get into the practical stuff. Here's everything you need to know to plan your own adventure, from how to get around and where to stay to the best time of year to visit. Getting around Vizag is actually super straightforward. For a full day of sightseeing, especially if you're heading out to places like Bimali Beach, your best bet is to hire a private cab. That'll cost you around 2,500 rupees for the whole day. For shorter trips within the city, autos are everywhere. But if you're a solo traveler or just like having more freedom, renting a scooty is a fantastic option. It's only about 400 to 500 rupees a day, and it's a great way to explore the coastline at your own pace. And finally, here are a few key things to remember. The absolute best time to visit is between October and March, when the weather is just perfect. When it comes to where to stay, the RK Beach area is great for being in the center of things, while Rushakonda is where you'll find the more upscale beach resorts. And this is the most important tip. If you want to ride in that Vistadome coach to Araku Valley, you have to book your tickets way, way in advance. I'm talking at least 3 months, because they sell out fast. So, we started by asking what gives Vizag its soul, and I think we found the answers. In its golden sands, its deep history, those green hills, and its incredible flavors. It's a city that manages to balance its industrial power with so much natural beauty, and its ancient past with a really dynamic present. It definitely lives up to its name. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Visakhapatnam is called the City of Destiny. What destiny will you discover there?